See whether this is the example of arithmetic progression or not. So here the amount of money in the account every year is deposited. When 10,000 rupees is deposited at the compound interest at the rate 8% per annum. So you should know the compound interest. There are two type of interest in the bank: simple interest and compound interest. So 8% per annum. So calculate amount interest for first year. Interest for first year. So 10,000 is principal amount. So interest will be at 500. So that will be 800. Rate of interest is 8%. So at the end of first year, interest will be 800 rupees. Okay. So at the end of first year, the interest will be 800. That 800 rupees you have to add in the principal amount 10,000. So therefore the amount for next year, amount for next year that will be principal amount. That will be principal amount. Amount for next year, principal amount will be 10,000 plus 800. That is 10,800 rupees. Okay. So calculate interest on this now. Therefore the interest on 10,800 rupees will be into 100. This will be for next second year. This 800 will be for at the end of first year, and this will be for the end of second year. Can write second year. So it will be 864 rupees will be interest. Okay. Therefore So this is the interest for second year. Now principal amount for third year. Principal amount for third year will be this will be 10,800 for second year. So again that you have to add this increment there, 864. So it will be this will be the principal amount for third year. So you can calculate interest on 11664 will be into 8/100. So that will be so this will be interest for third year. So thus you can add again this interest into this principal amount, that will be the principal amount for fourth year, and again same method you can apply. It will be the interest will be compounded. Here compound interest means interest on interest. Here एंड सिंपल इंटरेस्ट में क्या है कि ये इंटरेस्ट पर इंटरेस्ट नहीं लगेगा, ओनली 10,000 पर ही इंटरेस्ट लगते जाएगा. बट इन कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट में यू सी दैट फर्स्ट ईयर इट इज़ 800, इन द सेकंड ईयर इट हैज़ बिकम 864 एंड थर्ड ईयर it becomes 933.12. So thus if term wise it is written, so in first year we have deposited 10,000, so in the next year it becomes 10,800, and then again second year it becomes 11,664. Okay, and again if you add this one, $12,597, it will be this was, you add this one, principal amount will be 11,664,933.12. $12,597.12, that will be principal amount for next year, for fourth year. So thus it will be. So now our arithmetic progress, as per definition of arithmetic progression, there should be common difference between two terms, between two consecutive terms. So here the difference between first and second term is 800, whereas here difference between third and second term is 1264. Sorry. $864, common difference between these two terms. So you can write this one A1, A2, A3, A4. So here A2 minus A1 becomes 800, 10,800 minus 10,000, that is 800. Difference between these two numbers, A3 minus A2, that is 11,664 minus 10,800, that is 864. So common difference between these two numbers is not same. Here A2 minus A1 is not equal to A3 minus A2. A2 minus A1 is not equal to A3 minus A2, and therefore it is not arithmetic progression. Therefore it is not the example of arithmetic progression. It is not the example of arithmetic progression because common difference is not same. Okay. So इसके पहले हमने देखा था कि 10,000 रुपीज़ बैंक में जो डिपॉजिट किया है वो कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट में किया था. अभी हमने सेम अमाउंट डिपॉजिटेड इन द बैंक विथ सिंपल इंटरेस्ट at 8% per annum. So whether the interest or amount credited at the end of each year, whether it forms arithmetic progression or not, that we have to see. So 10% per annum means let the interest for first year will be 10,000 into 8 by 100. and that will be 800 rupees. द इंटरेस्ट जो है एक साल के लिए 10,000 पर होगा 100 रुपीज़. दैट इज सिंपल इंटरेस्ट, यानी 100 रुपये पर 8 रुपये, इसलिए उसको जनरली इस प्रकार से लिखते हैं 100 रुपीज़ इफ इन्वेस्टेड फॉर 1 ईयर. सो रेट is 8 rupees on 100 rupees per year. Interest will credit. So therefore 1000 for 1 year के लिए कितना होगा? So that is calculated as this one, 10,000 into 8 by 100, like this. And the interest for second year will be 10,000 into 10,000 by 100, that will be again 800. Difference between compound interest and simple interest is that in compound interest, that first year interest is added into the principal amount, and that becomes the principal amount for the next year, and interest is calculated on that principal amount. In compound interest, what happens? The same 8 by 100, that means 800 rupees will be the interest for first year, and second year this principal amount becomes 10,800, and interest on this 10,800 is credited. That will be 864. That will be the interest for second year, whereas in the simple interest for second year becomes 800. So 64 rupees is more in the compound interest, and thus that amount is increasing because of the interest on interest. Whatever 800 rupees interest is generated in first year, that also been in the calculation for next year interest. So interest on 800 also is being added, that is 64. So thus here there is variation. First year interest is 800 and second year interest is 864. So this is not constant, this is not equal, and therefore this 10,000 a principal amount at the end of year, first year will be 10,000, second year will be 10,000, 800, 10,864, like this. So here the difference between these two terms is not same. It is 800, but here difference between this third term and second term is more, not equal, not 800. So therefore, it will be ten 864 800. It will be 11,664. So here difference between these two terms is not same. Here difference between this term is 800, and here difference between these two is 864 rupees. So it is not same, and therefore it is not the arithmetic progression in the compound interest. But in simple interest, it will be constant. Interest for third year. That will be again it will be n. So principal, and thus for next other years the same interest will be credited, and therefore the amount at the end of each year the amount will be deposited at the end of each year. The amount will be deposited at the end of each year as under. Amount for first year will be 10,000. For second year it will be 10,800. Then 11,600. $12,400, and so on. That means the difference between these two terms any two terms will be 800. Okay, and therefore the example is the arithmetic progression. Therefore, the example is the arithmetic progression. So, when 10,000 is deposited at the rate of simple interest, so it will be the example of arithmetic progression. But when it is same amount is deposited with compound interest, so it will not be example of arithmetic progression.